Listen to me carefully. You do not need another motivational speech. You do not need another perfect plan. What you need is the courage to admit one painful truth. The life you want cannot be built by the person you have become. Look at yourself honestly. Is your mind focused or constantly distracted? Is your body growing stronger or weaker? Is your discipline leading your life? Or are your excuses making every decision for you? Every day you delay, the old version of you grows stronger. Every day you choose comfort over discipline. You train yourself to accept less than you are capable of becoming. But today, that ends. In this video, I will show you how to rebuild your mind until it cannot be shaken. Rebuild your body until it carries strength with confidence. And rebuild your discipline until success becomes your natural way of living. The warrior you admire is not born. He is rebuilt, one decision, one habit, and one battle at a time. So stand up, clear your mind, and prepare yourself. Your rebuild begins now. Many people believe they are choosing their lives, but they are only reacting to what happened to them. A painful experience taught them not to trust. A failure taught them to doubt themselves. A rejection made them afraid to try again. Slowly, the past began making decisions for the present. You may think you are being careful, but sometimes you are simply living from damage. When you avoid an opportunity because you failed before, damage is directing you. When you push good people away because someone once betrayed you, damage is directing you. When you speak harshly to yourself because others once made you feel weak, you are allowing old voices to control your future. Understand this. What happened to you may explain your habits, but it does not have the right to command your life forever. A warrior does not deny his wounds. He studies them. He learns where they came from, how they affect his thinking, and what they are trying to make him believe. Then he decides which beliefs must be removed. Do not build your identity around the worst moments of your life. You are not only the person who was hurt, rejected, defeated, or ignored. You are also the person who survived, learned, and still has the power to choose again. To live from design means you stop asking, what has life turned me into? And begin asking, who am I deliberately becoming? This question changes everything. You begin designing how you think. You choose which thoughts deserve your attention, and which ones must be released. You begin designing how you use your time. You stop giving your strongest hours to distraction and your weakest energy to your goals. You begin designing your environment. You remove the habits, influences, and routines that keep pulling you back into the person you are trying to outgrow. Design is not wishful thinking. It is a deliberate construction. If you want a focused mind, create periods of silence and concentration. If you want a stronger body, build movement into your day. If you want discipline, give yourself clear rules and follow them even when your emotions resist. If you want confidence, stop making promises to yourself that you do not keep. Every action is a piece of your design. You cannot rebuild your life while continuing to obey every old fear. At some point, you must challenge the story you have been repeating. Perhaps you have told yourself that you are lazy, weak, unlucky, too late, or incapable of changing. But a story repeated many times is not automatically the truth. Examine it. Ask yourself, did I choose this belief? Or did pain give it to me? Then replace it with action. Do not merely say that you are becoming disciplined. Wake up and prove it. Do not merely say that you are becoming strong. Train when your body wants comfort. Do not merely say that you are changing your life. Make one decision today that your old self would have avoided. This is how design becomes reality. Do not expect the old version of you to disappear without resistance. It has survived through repetition. It will tell you to return to familiar habits, because familiar pain often feels safer than unfamiliar growth. But you must not confuse familiarity with destiny. You are allowed to become someone your past does not recognize. You are allowed to think differently, move differently, and demand more from yourself. You are allowed to stop carrying beliefs that no longer serve the person you are building. But remember, rebuilding is not pretending that the damage never happened. It is refusing to let the damage become the architect. Your past may provide the material, but you must create the design. So take responsibility, not as punishment, but as power. Responsibility means that although you cannot change everything that happened, you can decide what happens next. You can choose your habits, your standards, your responses, and the direction of your life. Do not live as a reaction to yesterday. Stand still. Look clearly at who you have become. Keep what makes you stronger. Remove what keeps you small. Then begin constructing yourself with intention. A damaged mind asks, why did this happen to me? A designed mind asks, what will I build from it? That is the difference between remaining trapped and becoming free. You are not here merely to survive your past. You are here to shape your future. Stop allowing old wounds to write new chapters. Take back the pen, create the design, then live each day in a way that brings that design to life. Your body is always learning. Every choice you make is teaching it something. When you constantly choose comfort, your body learns to avoid effort. When you give in the moment something feels difficult, your body begins to believe that struggle is dangerous. Little by little, your comfort becomes your prison. But a warrior teaches his body a different lesson. He teaches it that discomfort is not an enemy. It is a signal that growth has begun. Think about the strongest people you have ever admired. They did not become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they stopped running from difficult moments. They understood that every challenge was another opportunity to build themselves. You must develop the same understanding. Do not wait until you feel motivated to move your body. Move first, and let action create the energy you are waiting for. The body has a remarkable ability to adapt, but only if you give it something worth adapting to. Wake up a little earlier than is comfortable. Finish the last repetition when your muscles want to stop. Walk when you could sit. Stretch when your body feels stiff. Choose the healthier meal when your cravings tell you otherwise. These are not small decisions. They are daily lessons that teach your body to be in control. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you send a clear message to yourself. I decide what happens next. This is how confidence begins, not through words, but through repeated action. Many people believe physical training is only about building muscles or improving appearance. They miss the deeper purpose. The body is the first place where discipline becomes visible. Every disciplined movement strengthens not only your muscles but also your patience, your focus, and your ability to stay committed when life becomes difficult. A weak habit in the body often becomes a weak habit in the mind. But the opposite is also true. When your body learns consistency, your mind begins to trust itself. You start believing that you can finish what you begin because you have proven it through action. Remember, your body does not care about your excuses. It only responds to what you repeatedly do. Some mornings you will feel tired. Some days you will feel discouraged. There will be moments when comfort whispers that skipping one workout, one walk, or one disciplined choice will not matter. It is in those ordinary moments that your future is quietly being shaped. Do not underestimate the power of one disciplined decision. One extra mile, one more push-up, one healthy choice, one promise kept. These moments may seem insignificant, but together they create a body that no longer fears effort. And understand this clearly, loving hard things does not mean enjoying pain for its own sake. It means appreciating what difficulty gives you in return. Hard things give you resilience, they give you endurance, they teach you patience, they reveal strength that comfort could never uncover. Your body is far more capable than your doubts will ever admit. Most limits are accepted long before they are reached. The moment your mind says, I cannot, ask yourself if your body has truly reached its limit, or if it has simply reached the point where discomfort begins. A warrior learns to stay calm in that moment. He breathes, focuses, and takes one more step, then another. That is how limits are expanded. Do not try to become stronger by waiting for life to become easier. Become stronger by proving to yourself that you can remain disciplined even when life becomes harder. Every difficult workout, every disciplined morning, every healthy choice, and every moment you refuse to quit is shaping more than your body. It is shaping your character. One day you will look back and realize that the greatest transformation did not happen because everything became comfortable. It happened because you stopped asking life to remove the difficulty and started asking yourself to become strong enough to carry it. Teach your body to welcome effort. Teach it to remain steady under pressure. Teach it that discipline is normal. Because when your body no longer fears hard things, your mind will stop fearing them too. That is the beginning of real strength. Most people are obsessed with setting new goals. Every year they write new plans. They promise themselves they will become stronger, healthier, wealthier, or more successful. But after a few weeks, those goals begin to fade. Not because they were impossible, but because the person chasing them never changed the standard by which they lived. There is a difference between a goal and a standard. A goal is something you hope to reach. A standard is what you refuse to live below. Goals inspire you for a moment. Standards guide you every single day. If your goal is to become fit, but your standard allows you to skip training whenever you feel tired, your standard will always defeat your goal. If your goal is to become disciplined, but your standard accepts excuses, distractions, and broken promises, then your future has already been decided. Do not ask yourself what you want to achieve. Ask yourself what you are no longer willing to tolerate. Are you still willing to tolerate wasting hours on meaningless distractions? Are you willing to tolerate speaking negatively about yourself? Are you willing to tolerate unfinished work, weak habits, and endless procrastination? If the answer is yes, then no new goal will save you. A warrior raises his standards before he raises his ambitions. He decides that showing up is no longer optional. He decides that honesty with himself is no longer negotiable. He decides that discipline is not something he practices only on good days. It becomes the foundation of every day. This decision changes everything. Your standards influence the way you wake up, the way you train, the way you speak, the way you spend your time, and the way you respond when life becomes difficult. They quietly shape every action long before success ever appears. Many people believe excellence is created by extraordinary effort. More often, it is created by ordinary habits performed at an extraordinary standard. You do not need to make every day dramatic. You need to make every day intentional. Clean your environment because disorder creates careless thinking. Finish the work you started because unfinished tasks weaken your discipline. Arrive on time because respecting time teaches you to respect yourself. Speak with purpose because careless words often produce careless actions. These may seem like small things, but small standards build powerful character. Remember, the world responds to the level of responsibility you consistently demonstrate. If you cannot manage the small responsibilities already in your hands, why would greater opportunities stay with you? Raise your standards in private before expecting public success. The strongest people are not disciplined because someone is watching. They are disciplined because they have made an agreement with themselves that they refuse to break. That agreement becomes part of their identity. When you promise to wake up early, do it. When you promise to train, train. When you promise to finish what you started, finish it. Each promise you keep strengthens your belief in yourself. Each promise you break quietly weakens your confidence. Confidence is not built by positive thinking alone. It is built by repeated evidence that you can trust your own actions. Do not compare your standards to other people. Some people celebrate doing the minimum. Some people spend years making excuses. If you measure yourself against those who accept less, you will slowly begin accepting less as well. Measure yourself against the person you are capable of becoming. That version of you has higher expectations. He values his health, protects his time, controls his emotions, and treats every day as an opportunity to improve. He does not wait for motivation to appear. He follows his standards. Understand this truth. Your life will rarely rise above what you repeatedly accept. If you accept average effort, average results will become normal. If you accept inconsistency, inconsistency will shape your future. But if you demand excellence from yourself, not perfection, but honest excellence, you begin creating a life that reflects those expectations. Do not fear raising your standards. At first it will feel uncomfortable because your old habits will resist. They will tell you to slow down, to settle, to lower your expectations. Ignore those voices. Growth always asks you to become someone your old habits no longer recognize. So before you write another goal, before you chase another dream, before you ask for a different future, raise your standards, because goals give you a destination, but your standards determine whether you ever arrive. And remember this, The quality of your future is not decided by what you wish for. It is decided by what you refuse to compromise today. The greatest trap you can fall into is living for the approval of other people. It is a quiet trap because it often disguises itself as ambition. You tell yourself that you are working hard, but deep inside, you are hoping someone notices. You want people to admire your discipline, praise your success, or tell you that you are finally enough. But if your confidence depends on applause, then your confidence does not belong to you. It belongs to the crowd, and the crowd is unpredictable. One day they will celebrate you, the next day they ignore you. If you build your identity on their opinions, your peace will rise and fall with every compliment and every criticism. A warrior never gives strangers that much power. He understands that the strongest foundation is built inside, not outside. He does not wake up asking, who will believe in me today? He wakes up asking, will I honor the person I am becoming? That is a very different question. When you stop chasing approval, your energy changes. You no longer waste time trying to impress people who are not walking your path. Instead, you invest that energy into becoming stronger, wiser, healthier, and more disciplined. Think about how much of your life is influenced by other people's opinions. How many times have you stayed silent because you feared being judged? How many dreams have you delayed because you worried someone might laugh? How many decisions have you made simply to fit in instead of standing firm in what you knew was right? Every time you betray yourself to gain acceptance, you lose a small piece of your identity. A warrior refuses to make that trade. He knows that respect earned through honesty is far more valuable than attention gained through pretending. You do not need to wear a mask to become powerful. You do not need to act tougher than you are or appear more successful than you feel. Real strength is not performance. Real strength is consistency between who you are in public and who you are when no one is watching. Ask yourself this question. If nobody could see your achievements, if nobody could praise your effort, if no one could like, comment, or applaud your success, would you still do the work? If your answer is yes, then you are building true discipline. Because discipline that exists only in front of an audience is not discipline at all. It is performance. The person who quietly improves every day often becomes stronger than the person who constantly talks about improving. Protect your private victories. Celebrate the mornings when you got out of bed without excuses. Celebrate the workout you completed even though no one was there to encourage you. Celebrate the book you finished, the promise you kept, the temptation you resisted, and the habit you strengthened. These victories may never become headlines, but they become the foundation of your character. Remember this. The world sees the results. You live with the process. Do not become addicted to recognition. Recognition is temporary. Character is permanent. There will be times when your effort goes unnoticed. You will work hard while others receive attention. You will improve in silence while nobody seems to recognize your progress. Do not become discouraged. A bamboo tree spends years growing roots beneath the ground before anyone sees it rise into the sky. During that time, it appears as though nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, it is building the strength needed to stand tall. Your life is no different. Every disciplined decision you make in private is strengthening the roots of your future. One day, people may call your success sudden. They will not see the early mornings, the sacrifices, the self-control, the lonely practice, or the quiet discipline that made it possible. And that is perfectly fine, because you were never working for applause. You were working to become someone you could respect. That kind of identity cannot be taken away by criticism, failure, or rejection. It does not depend on popularity. It depends on principle. So stop asking the world to confirm your worth. Prove it to yourself. Stand by your values when it is difficult. Keep your promises when nobody checks on you. Continue your training when no one is cheering for you. Walk your path even when it feels lonely. Because the strongest warrior is not the one who receives the loudest applause. The strongest warrior is the one who no longer needs it. Life will test you. That is not a possibility, it is a certainty. There will be days when your plans collapse, people disappoint you, opportunities disappear, and the results you worked so hard for never arrive. No amount of strength can remove every obstacle from your path. But here is what separates a warrior from everyone else. A warrior does not measure his strength by how rarely he falls. He measures it by how quickly he stands back up. Many people spend years trapped in one painful moment. One mistake convinces them they are a failure. One rejection makes them afraid to try again. One setback becomes an excuse to stop moving forward. They are not defeated by the event itself. They are defeated by how long they choose to remain there. Do not give your setbacks that much power. Every difficult experience is asking you one simple question: how quickly can you return to who you truly are? Notice how nature works. A storm may shake the strongest tree, but when the wind passes, the tree does not spend months complaining about the storm. It continues growing toward the light. You must learn to do the same. When something goes wrong, do not waste your energy asking why life is unfair. That question rarely changes anything. Instead, ask yourself, what is my next move? That single question keeps you moving forward. Recovery begins the moment you stop staring at what happened and start focusing on what you can do now. This does not mean pretending that pain does not exist. A warrior feels disappointment. He feels frustration. He feels loss. He is human. But he refuses to build a home inside those emotions. He allows himself to experience them without allowing them to control the direction of his life. There is a difference between feeling pain and becoming pain. Never confuse the two. The faster you return to disciplined action, the faster your confidence returns. Action has a way of clearing the mind. Sitting still with endless worry only makes problems appear larger than they truly are. When you fall behind in your training, begin again. When you make a mistake, correct it. When fear enters your mind, face it with movement. Momentum is often more powerful than motivation. Small actions create recovery. Take one walk. Read one chapter. Complete one workout. Finish one important task. Have one honest conversation. These simple actions remind your mind that you are still in control. Do not wait until you feel completely healed before moving forward. Growth often happens while you are still carrying the weight of yesterday. Strength is built by continuing your journey, not by waiting for life to become perfect. Understand something that many people never realize. Your greatest enemy is not failure. It is hesitation after failure. The longer you hesitate, the more your fear grows. Your imagination begins creating stories that are far worse than reality. Soon, you are no longer fighting the original problem. You are fighting the fear you created around it. Break that cycle immediately. Return to action before doubt has time to build a permanent home in your mind. This is why discipline matters so much. When emotions are unstable, discipline gives you direction. When confidence disappears, your routines remind you who you are. Even on your worst days, your habits can carry you farther than your feelings ever will. Remember this. Scars are not signs that life defeated you. They are proof that you survived what once tried to stop you. Do not hide from them. Learn from them. Every challenge leaves behind a lesson. Every disappointment reveals something about your character. Every difficult season teaches you where you must become stronger. If you pay attention, even your failures become teachers instead of enemies. One day you will look back and realize that the moments which nearly broke you were also the moments that rebuilt you, not because they were easy, but because you refused to stay down. So when life knocks you to the ground again, and it will, do not waste time asking whether you are strong enough. Stand up, take one steady breath, take one determined step, then another. Recovery is not about moving perfectly. Recovery is about refusing to stop moving. That is the habit of a warrior, and the warrior who learns to recover quickly becomes impossible to defeat, because no matter how many times life knocks him down, it never keeps him there. Your emotions are real, but they are not always reliable. There will be mornings when you feel powerful and unstoppable. There will also be mornings when your energy is low, your confidence disappears, and your mind tells you to give up before the day has even begun. If you allow your emotions to decide your actions, your life will become unpredictable. One day you move forward. The next day you stand still. Then you wonder why nothing changes. A warrior understands something that most people never learn. He does not organize his life around how he feels. He organizes it around what must be done. That is why rituals are so powerful. A ritual is more than a habit. A habit is something you do often. A ritual is something you protect because it shapes the person you are becoming. It is performed with intention, consistency, and respect. Your rituals become the structure that holds you together when your emotions try to pull you apart. Imagine waking up every morning without having to negotiate with yourself. You do not ask, "Do I feel like training today?" You already know the answer. You train. You do not ask, "Should I work on my purpose today?" You begin. The decision has already been made. This is freedom. Many people believe freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But that kind of freedom often creates confusion, weakness, and regret. Real freedom comes from removing unnecessary decisions. When your important actions become rituals, you save your energy for what truly matters instead of wasting it arguing with yourself. Create a morning ritual that prepares your mind before the world demands your attention. Wake up with purpose instead of immediately reaching for distractions. Spend a few quiet minutes breathing deeply. Stretch your body. Move with intention. Read something that strengthens your thinking. Decide what must be accomplished before the day begins. Now your day is leading you forward instead of pulling you in every direction. Create a training ritual that reminds your body what strength feels like. It does not have to be perfect. It has to be consistent. Some days you will train harder than others, but every day you should remind your body that movement is part of your identity, not an occasional event. Create an evening ritual that allows your mind to recover instead of carrying today's chaos into tomorrow. Before you sleep, ask yourself honest questions. What did I do well today? Where did I lose focus? What lesson will I carry into tomorrow? This simple practice prevents the same mistakes from repeating themselves without making you feel defeated. Notice that none of these rituals depend on your mood. That is their greatest strength. Whether you feel excited or discouraged, confident or uncertain, the ritual remains the same. It becomes an anchor in the middle of changing emotions, and over time, something remarkable happens. You stop depending on motivation because your rituals keep moving even when motivation disappears. People often think discipline is built in dramatic moments. It is not. Discipline is built in ordinary mornings when nobody is watching. It is built in the decision to make your bed instead of leaving it undone. It is built in drinking water before reaching for unhealthy comforts. It is built in putting your phone away so your attention belongs to your purpose instead of endless distraction. These actions seem small, but small rituals repeated hundreds of times reshape an entire life. Be careful about the rituals you already have. Not every ritual is helping you. Some people begin every morning with worry. Others begin with complaints, endless scrolling, or comparing themselves to everyone else. They repeat these behaviors every day until negativity becomes automatic. Without realizing it, they have trained themselves to think like victims. Train yourself differently. Train yourself to pause before reacting. Train yourself to breathe before speaking in anger. Train yourself to finish important work before chasing entertainment. Train yourself to prepare instead of making excuses. These rituals quietly build emotional control. Remember, your future is not created by the biggest decision you make once in a while. It is created by the smallest decisions you repeat every single day. That is why rituals matter. They remove chaos and replace it with direction. They replace hesitation with action. They replace excuses with consistency. And consistency always defeats intensity that lasts for only a few days. Do not wait for your emotions to become perfect before you begin living with purpose. Your emotions will rise and fall like the weather. Your rituals must remain like the mountain, steady, reliable, unshakable. When your life is built on rituals instead of emotions, you stop asking yourself whether you feel ready. You simply take the next step, again and again. That is how a warrior lives, not by chasing the feeling of discipline, but by practicing it until discipline becomes who he is. Most people spend more time planning their next weekend than they spend designing the next 10 years of their lives. They drift from one day to the next, hoping that somehow the future will become better on its own. But hope without direction is only a wish. A warrior does not leave his future to chance. He builds it. Every great building begins with a blueprint. No architect places bricks on the ground and hopes they become a masterpiece. Every line is drawn with purpose. Every measurement has meaning. Every decision is made with the finished vision already in mind. Your life deserves the same level of intention. Ask yourself an honest question. If you continue living exactly as you are today, where will you be 10 years from now? Will your mind be sharper or filled with even more distractions? Will your body be stronger or weaker? Will your discipline grow, or will excuses become even more comfortable? Do not answer with what you hope will happen. Answer with what your daily actions are already creating. The future is not built by your intentions. It is built by your routines. Every morning you wake up, you are placing another brick. Every decision you make is another piece of the structure. The books you read, the people you spend time with, the thoughts you repeat, the food you eat, the skills you practice, and the promises you keep are all shaping the person you are becoming. Nothing is neutral. Everything is building something. That is why you must become the architect instead of the passenger. Too many people allow other people to design their lives. They let trends decide their values. They let social media decide how they spend their attention. They let fear decide which opportunities they avoid. They let comfort decide how much effort they give. Then one day they wonder why their life does not feel like their own. Do not surrender the blueprint of your future to people who are not responsible for living it. Take it back. Begin with clarity. What kind of man or woman do you want to become 10 years from now? Do not think first about money, titles, or recognition. Think about your character. Will you be calm under pressure? Will you be physically strong enough to serve those you love? Will you be disciplined enough to finish what you start? Will people trust your word because you always keep it? These qualities are worth more than temporary success because they create success wherever you go. Now work backwards. If that is the person you want to become in 10 years, what must you become this year? What must you practice this month? What must you do today? The distance between your present and your future becomes much smaller when you break it into today's decisions. Many people become overwhelmed because they stare at the mountain instead of taking the next step. Do not carry 10 years on your shoulders all at once. Carry today, win today, master today, then wake up tomorrow and do it again. This is how extraordinary lives are built. Not through one dramatic breakthrough, but through thousands of ordinary decisions made with extraordinary commitment. There will be seasons when progress feels invisible. You will train without immediate results. You will study without instant rewards. You will work while others seem to move ahead faster. Do not become impatient. A tree does not stop growing simply because it cannot see its own roots expanding beneath the ground. Real transformation often happens where nobody can see it. Trust the process you are building. Remember this. Time will continue moving whether you prepare or not. 10 years from now will arrive. The only question is this: who will be waiting for you when it does? Will you meet a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of yourself? Or will you meet the same person carrying the same excuses, the same fears, and the same regrets? That decision is being made right now, not next year, not next month, today. Every disciplined action is a vote for the future you want. Every excuse is a vote for the life you are trying to leave behind. Choose your votes carefully. One day, people will look at your strength and think it appeared naturally. They will never see the quiet mornings, the difficult choices, the sacrifices, the moments you refused to quit, or the years you spent rebuilding yourself when no one was watching. But you will know. You will remember every decision that shaped you. So do not waste another day waiting for life to build you. Become the architect. Draw the blueprint with courage. Lay each brick with discipline. Protect it with character. And every morning, build one more piece of the life you have chosen to create. Because the greatest masterpiece you will ever build is not a business, a reputation, or a legacy. It is the person you become while creating them. Remember this. A warrior is not measured by how many times he starts. He is measured by how many times he refuses to stay the same. From this moment forward, stop waiting for the perfect day, the perfect mood, or the perfect opportunity. None of them will rebuild you. Only your daily choices will. Train your mind until doubt loses its voice. Train your body until strength becomes your nature. Train your discipline until keeping your word becomes effortless. When these three begin to work together, your life changes in ways that no shortcut ever could. Do not try to become a different person overnight. Become a stronger person today. Then do it again tomorrow. That is how warriors are forged, not through dramatic moments, but through quiet consistency. The future is already taking shape with every decision you make. Make sure the person you are building today is someone your future self will thank you for becoming. Now go and begin your rebuild.